What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode on the Forager server. My name's ArcFort, and today we are very lost and confused. We have so many projects we could be working on right now, and I I have had to take a little bit of a break because real life got busy, but I feel like my shop has expanded quite a bit since the last time I recorded. I'm selling a few more things. I'm selling amethyst shards. I don't remember if that was there the last time I recorded, but I am selling amethyst shards. I found a couple nice little geodes to pull from, so people seem to want these, and I actually just replenished this. So these are selling, at least these are. I had a sale of a shulker box there. Started selling damage potions. Those hurt. Those are painful. Found out last night. Anyway. This is also potions of night vision, which I'll get into why I'm going to use that in a second later. But the rest of this, I think, was all here. I think this is all stuff I had before. And then over here, I restocked. I actually reduced the price on my redstone, so it's a stack. Stack for a diamond. That's a pretty good deal. Redstone repeaters, a stack for a diamond. It's a ridiculous deal considering these. I'm doing the math on these two, and something's not adding up, right? Because one stack of these, it's two stacks of these for one of these. So I know I'm doing some bad math there, but you know, I just want people to buy things from me. That's all I want. And 32 redstone comparators per diamond. That's a steal right there. Look at this. Oh, and dispensers. People are buying dispensers. That's good. We like that. Anybody buying any of these droppers? No. What about pistons? No, that's okay. I started selling lapis. Lapis is useful, but it doesn't seem like anybody's bought it yet. People may just not know. And then deep slate, cobbled deep slate. I'm selling that too. So my shop has expanded. Hopefully people will buy some things. That is what I am hoping for. But today we have to determine which project we're going to work on next, because I have a few things that I need to work on. Why are you out here? Go inside. Go inside. Into the... It's not safe for you to be out here. Go. Hey, come on. Get with it. There we go. I don't know why I'm seeing green particles places, but sure. Alright, so got him in there. That's actually one of the things we need to discuss today. Also, Booger made... His name is Booger, I know. He made this little shop, and I know it doesn't look like much because it's literally just a shoulder box with feather falling books in it. But this, I love this. This was like almost Tron-like, and there's a creeper inside. Whoop, well, I don't think that was there earlier. Must have spawned in there. Also, now it's daytime, which is cool. But yes, we have another shop to add to our vast collection here. So I need to figure out what I'm doing today. And I'm not wearing my elytra, I guess, because if I had been, I would have just taken off. But I don't have it. So we're going to walk and talk. I got a few projects I need to work on. I need another building, right? I need another building on the island. But I need that building to be useful. And so if I build another building, it will be a dye farm. I think that's my next move. The other thing that I do need on the island is village trader, like a village trading hall. That would be very helpful for me. Also, I'm going to go ahead and do this because otherwise I'm going to end up killing myself. I need a village trading hall really bad. And the reason I say that is I need a ton of clerics so I can get rid of all the rotten flesh I'm getting from my copper farm, because it's quite abundant. So all of that said, the third option is to go clear the water temple that's near my base. And, you know, honestly, that sounds like the most challenging option. So we're going to do that over the course of the next few episodes. One of these three things over the course of those next few episodes. And I think what I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with the dye farm. Okay, so that's going to be fairly simple, pretty easy, and not too resource intensive. I think I have most of what I need for it. So we're going to go with that for today. And I've got a few ideas to throw by you guys. Okay, so I've hopped over into my test world so we can look at some of this real quick. So I have a few ideas that I'm gonna have to run past. I picked up a lot of these cocoa beans, my bad. I'll show you guys why I have so many in a second. But I have a few dyes that I need, right? This is the progression of my iterations of flower farms or dye farms. Now, obviously, this is incomplete. This is a mess. We won't even talk about that one. This one, better, improvement, but still some issues. This one, I like this one. This one's a good one, actually. Might be my favorite. And then there's this one, which is also now a cow farm. I didn't realize we could do that. There's cows and pigs in here, and sheep. And, oh, there's sheeps. So many sheeps. Anyway, I accidentally made a farm of various kinds. That's okay, though. So, this one, I'll start with this one right here. Very simple. I just flip this lever. It begins to produce things, and then it just, you know, pushes those through. Now, there are hopper minecarts underneath this that should be collecting most of the things and sending them into this thing. You'll notice there's an abundance of seeds. And that's actually a good thing, because we need this stuff, bone meal. And seeds can turn into bone meal, right? So I like that. I like that a lot. May have to readjust some mechanics in order to kind of make an item sorter that can take these seeds out and turn them into bone meal, which can go back into the farm. But other than that, I think that's pretty good. We'll go and turn that thing off because that's going to create so much lag. Why are you not collecting things? That's okay. It's just a test world. It's okay. This one is specifically for these 2 high flowers. And you can hear the hopper minecarts underneath this thing. But the way this one works is you'll see that the dispensers are actually raised to that second level on the top level of where those flowers are at. And so when we flip this lever, it starts producing en masse all the lilacs and the sunflowers. So we have plenty of these things. I'm full on, well, I probably ought to turn off the sunflower side of this thing, because holy cow, I have so many sunflowers. But yes, it creates an abundance of these two. And then over here, the coup de grace. Because anybody can do flower farms like this, right? But cocoa farm, this is a cocoa farm. And here is how, it's very simple. Look at this. I just flip this lever, and then oh, I forgot a thing. Hold on. I put the wrong type of piston in here. And that's awkward. But you get the idea. So the way it would work is I would put a block there. And then there. And then there. Right. There we go. Much better. Now, try this again. And all I have to do is hold right click, right? So we do that. And I just do this. And I hold right click. And I just collect. You'll see it. Look at all of that. Look at all that I'm picking up here. All of these cocoa beans just flooding in. And I don't have to do anything other than hold right click. It's fantastic. Wonderful stuff. Now, what's nice about this one too is it produces a lot very quickly. And since brown dye isn't going to be used that much, I don't anticipate running this very often. But also, this thing is so simple. Look at this thing. It's tiny. It's kind of like tree farming, right? You hold the thing and you just produce the thing with the bone meal. But this is so convenient because it's just so darn simple. It's so compact and it's so easy to build. I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be very easy. So I'll have plenty of cocoa beans. Like, look at this. Look how many cocoa beans I picked up. That's insane. I'll have plenty of cocoa beans for days. I'll have plenty of lilac and sunflowers because who doesn't want lilac? And I'll have plenty of bone meal produced by this thing. As a matter of fact, actually, I'm probably just going to sort out the cornflowers. I don't even need the dandelions, right? I maybe the oxeye daisies I'll sort out. Everything else can go to making bone meal. That is my plan. That's my thought. I think that's going to be very effective. So it's basically, this is just going to be the bone meal machine. This will be making my yellow and, is it lavender dye? Not lavender. Lavender's not a color. You get the idea. I'll be making different types of dyes with these different machines, but I think that this is going to work out nicely. If I can build these in just some building, make a new area, build a couple of these, and then put them all somewhere. But the problem is, too, this isn't all the dyes, right? This is only a handful of the dyes. I still have other dyes that I have to produce, like, for example, I have to produce black dye, which I guess I could make a wither rose farm, but I really don't feel like doing that. I think I'm going to go with a squid farm. I know that's not as efficient, but I don't feel like dealing with withers. That doesn't sound like fun. So for now, this is what we're going to start with: the cocoa farm, and we're going to do the 2-high farm, and we're going to do the standard flower farm. We're going to start with those real quick in the world. So I'm going to start out by building this platform with my signature nether quartz bricks, which are pretty expensive, honestly, and fairly time consuming. Thankfully, Clash has started mass producing quartz, so I've just been buying everything he has, but everyone else is getting a little frustrated that I keep buying up all the quartz, and you know, there will come a day where I'm not buying up all the quartz, hopefully. But for this project, I need at least this platform to be built so that I can have kind of a good floor to start with for this farm. Alright, so I've got the guts of this thing pretty well exposed at this point, so I took this, which was the item sorter, right? That's where we started. It sorts the flowers that I want and separates the things that I don't. This will be a composting system in a minute. And then this thing is going to be hopper minecarts that run up and down the system collecting things to put into the system. So it's pretty easy as far as they go. And then I narrowed my design down to one block wide. So and I'll show you why in a minute. But that makes this whole thing pretty streamlined, and this should actually produce more bone meal than it uses. Question mark? That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, that's the theory. The math checks out. But back here is where all the magic happens. Pretty simple. I flip a lever. The lever turns on this this timer, this clock. The clock will repeat over and over again and send bone meal into the system through these dispensers. Now, that being said, I'm going to put... actually, this is probably not the best place to put this. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes. Into the system. I'm going to put... like that. Whoop. Like so. And then on the other side as well. I have some bone meal that Sorrow was gracious enough to lend to me. And I'm going to take about half, and throw it in here. I think technically half would be that. There we go. And then the other half, I'll throw in the other chest, just to get things started, just to get the ball rolling here. Okay, so what I have should, in theory, continue to make things to grow. Well, what do we do with the things that grow? Well, this redstone line up here will repeatedly power these pistons so that they'll punch out whatever is on the ground here, and that should go into the hopper minecarts that are going to be running below. So that's the first part of that system. So this is where all the flowers are going to come from. It should be pretty simple, actually. I can't guarantee that it's going to be, you know, horribly efficient at creating a ton of flowers, but it will produce some, and that's really all I need. And also, this will produce bone meal, which is what I need for the cocoa bean farm. All right, pre-flight check. We're gonna see. Well, I missed a block over here. We're gonna see if we've got everything in order to do a first, like, initial run through here. So let's see. We have the item sorters. They are set to sort the things that I want, which is good. That is well. And then everything else should go into this composting system. Very easy. We've got our hopper minecarts running. There's a little lag on the server, but that's okay. And then up here, we have... stairs are hard. We have the system that is going to actually produce the flowers and such. We have the stomper, And we have the switch. So without further ado, a 3, a 2, a 1. Well, that's anticlimactic. Alright, I've moved the lever. Hopefully that does the trick. And go. Nope. 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 That's not doing at all what it's supposed to do. Alright, little bit of troubleshoot. Oh, yeah, remove that block. Little bit of troubleshooting later. We're gonna see if this actually fixes the problem. And go. That's... we're having multiple issues here. One of them is just that this thing is going so darn slow. That is only powering that one. Cool. We'll figure this out in a second. So let's see here. We're gonna break that. We're gonna put a block there and there. All right. Find out if this works. Okay. That's producing things, I think. It's not producing flowers though, which is there a reason? Is there a reason flowers aren't being produced here? Is that just it has to be a 2-wide thing? I'm wondering. I need to go read up on some mechanics real quick.
Good.
I don't understand though why it's not producing flowers. That one's not. That's the other thing. It's not producing any flowers at all. It's just producing grass. It's just seeds. But the seeds aren't even ending up in the system, and I don't understand how that makes any bit of sense.
It doesn't have to make sense.
It has no obligation to me to make sense. I understand that, but at the same time, I'd like to know where these guys are going. I saw a seed. Oh, I see seeds going into the system. I see them. That's good. Are they going to make...
Theoretically, it's working.
Theoretically, it's going somewhere. It's all going to... Why are you... Oh. Huh. Well, you know, that's interesting. I found the source of the ticking. It was a pipe bomb. Yeah, you know, you gotta make sure your hoppers are facing the right direction sometimes. That's,
We'll just ignore that happened.
Yep, scratch that,
I didn't hear any of this conversation,
nope,
actually,
exactly.
now that I mention it.
We're gonna pretend none of this happened.
None of what happened, Jordan.
Exactly. So, guess what I just discovered? I just discovered that flowers don't grow on mushroom islands. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that before I built this entire machine on a mushroom island. Isn't that hilarious? So how are we gonna fix this? That's a good question. How do we fix this? Well, first of all, it's just a bone meal machine, right? Right. This is just a machine that makes bone meal now, and it's mostly empty of bone meal at the moment, but that's okay because we've produced with all of that bone meal 21 bone meal. Oh heavens. Okay, well, you know, we gave it a good effort. I'm gonna have to build something else out of this, because I gotta do something now, because I've used all these parts and everything, and everything's moving. Maybe I'll do, oh heavens, I don't know, something that can be turned into bone meal, so that I actually get some fair amount of bone meal out of this. But this is useless here. This whole thing is useless here, so I'm gonna have to find something else to make here. Can't make a dye farm on a mushroom island, just found that out. That's okay. We will find a way. So I rebuilt this thing off of the island just a ways so that it would in fact... I've committed a crime. That was bad. Okay. I've rebuilt this thing, and I've rearranged a few things to make it a little bit more efficient, and I've added a few bells and whistles, as you can probably tell, and it made it look pretty. So, all of these things to say, I think that this should complete this particular project. Hopefully. But there's only one way to find out. Now, I'll take my little water elevator up here, because I love my water elevators, even though that one's not the best. All right. So here's the moment of truth. Hopefully moving this off of the island means it will produce flowers. Y'all ready to find out? Flips the switch. I see flowers. Oh, I see flowers. I see flowers. Where are the blue flowers? Where's the corn? Is it cornflower? Is that what it's called? Haven't seen one yet, but that doesn't mean they won't appear at some point. I'm definitely seeing flowers though. So I'm definitely going to be getting dye out of this. And they are definitely going into the storage system, it would appear, except for this flower over here that seems to want to get away. But it looks like this is running the way that I wanted it to run, which is good. Now I just have to go down. I won't bother taking the elevator. What do we get over here? Oh, that's producing much faster. I did slap a little bit of bone meal in there before we got started. Definitely picking up some dandelions. None. Have not picked up any of the blue azule or any of the cornflower yet. May just not be in the biome we're at. That just may not be a thing. But we're definitely gonna get some yellow dye out of this, which is nifty, I suppose. Probably should have tested to see if this would actually, if all the flowers I wanted would actually grow where I needed them. But with all of that said, it looks like this is a good start. I like the design of this. This is pretty simple. Obviously, I had to rebuild the whole thing, so it was. I'm thankful it was this simple. But it seems to be going pretty well. I definitely am probably gonna have to replace the bone meal in this thing at some point very soon. But apart from that, I think it's going quite well. I think this is a very good looking farm. But I think this works pretty well. Pretty effective. It doesn't seem to be slowing down too much now. I think I had several issues with it being over there. So I'm glad that we found a way to correct that. But yeah, I like it. I think this will work. But we're not done yet, unfortunately. We still have the cocoa farm to make. So I'm going to put that, I think this is a good spot for it over here. Might build out from here. I like build out over here. It's a very simple little farm. Actually, come to think of it, I probably could just build it out right over here. Just a little space right under here. I can build it out. So let's get started on that. Well, I have what I think looks like a pretty decent cocoa farm. It looks like it fits in very well with the rest of this farm. Like it's built to be there, although it just really just juts out from the wall here. I'm gonna put a door right here. That's what I came over here to do. And then, do I have any? Yeah, I do. I have a couple of these. Put that there. I can show you around in here. It's very simple redstone in here. So I've got a lever on the other side of this block that powers this piston right here. That piston fires this observer, pushes it into the other observer, sends a tick pulse into this line, to this repeater that's fully delayed, up around to this other one that's fully delayed, to this line which powers out up front here this piston. And so hopefully this works. So we're gonna try this and hope that this does what it's supposed to do. So I'm set that there, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna pull this lever, and if I do that, this should all work. Okay, so I started with a stack. I'm currently up to a stack plus 4, 60, 80. You get the idea. This is going rather quickly. So I like this farm. This is pretty effective, honestly. This is not bad. I'm almost up to another stack just sitting here. And you could, in theory, if you had a sustainable source of bone meal, you could do this indefinitely. Because it just kind of feeds itself, right? You can just sit here and hold right click, and it will give you plenty of cocoa. So I've just tripled the amount of cocoa that I had, or almost. I'm gonna get there. We'll get to 2 stacks here real quick. And we are good. Okay, so that's our 3 stacks. We've tripled the amount of cocoa we had in only a few short moments. And all I have to do is turn that off now. And it stops. Pretty easy. Pretty easy, if you ask me. So we'll actually go ahead and keep our cocoa, but we can just go ahead and turn all of this into brown dye. I like it. Pretty easy stuff right there. That is gonna fit in quite nicely, I think, with the rest of this. So I think it seems to fit pretty well, and obviously very simple redstone to do that. So I like that. Not nearly as simple. This is much simpler than this other contraption up here, which has been a thorn in my side all day. The grass is almost grown back too, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, alas, things don't always go the way you plan. One of the recommendations I'll make if you decide to do this is definitely check out which flowers grow in the biome you're in before you build one of these. Because right now, I'm only going to get dandelions, although I get several of them, but I haven't gotten anything else from that, and I probably won't. Just the way that biomes work. But I think that this is very simple, beautifully simple. I love it. I will probably continue using that from now on because that is so incredibly simple. But I think with all of that done, there's one other dye that I need to make a farm for that is not included in this thing, and that would be a cactus farm for green dye. So I guess we need to figure out how we're going to do that. Maybe we can attach it to this thing. That would be helpful, I think. Maybe add it to the storage system over there. Who knows? Let's see. You know, as nice as this looks, it is not finished at all, and it's certainly not a tower, which is what I set out to build today. So I have 2 options. Either I can turn this into some kind of tower, which I don't know really how I feel about that, because this feels really nice open. I really like the way it feels open. But, you know, I could always enclose it, I suppose. Put a few walls up around here. Or the other option is that for my cactus farm, which I'm going to build, I can just put the cactus farm in its own tower and make it act like totally obnoxiously large, which I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an obnoxiously large cactus farm. That is my plan. That is the goal. So we're gonna start that process. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look at all what I expected it to look like, but it doesn't look that bad, really. I think as far as buildings go, now it's just floating over the water, but I think we can maybe fix that at some point. But this doesn't look too bad. Coming in here. Yeah, I like it. It's well lit in here, and you can hear those mine guards running. You've got your interior windows here. All of this is meant to go back to all of the redstone and whatnot, so you can get around pretty easily. There is an A for Arc Fort on the front, which I really like. That was kind of it kind of happened that worked out really well, and I thought, why not throw the A on there? But yeah, I like this. We can definitely work with this. Now the only thing we have left to build is Cactus Farm, which would be phenomenal about now. Those are pretty easy to build though, so we're gonna make a really big cactus farm because they're tileable, and I can go out to the desert and get more cactus. So that, I think, will be our next move. Okay, so this is what I've got so far for the cactus farm. Now this is a fairly common design for cactus farms with this honeycomb thing going on, but I think that this is a good start. We got your fence posts up here, right? What's going to happen is I'll put some sand here and then a cactus on top, and that will break that. But the deal, that's nothing new, right? That's not surprising, not entertaining. What's new is that I'm going to build this up like a gajillion times if I can, And I'm not going to be able to put all of the cactus on it at first, but over time I should be able to fill all of that up. And so this is just going to be a really tall tower that's producing a ton of cactus, which is exactly what I want. I'll put it all into a chute and send that chute down into my storage array down below. And yeah, so that's the plan anyway. Now I got to get building. You know, I really did like, I still do like this potion tower, but I mean, by comparison, that's this one's better. Let's just just call it like it is. This one just looks so much nicer, and with good reason too. I put so much more effort into this thing than I did this one. Although this one does not look bad and does not look out of place. It just looks a little boring. This one, very tall. Very tall tower. Oh, and it makes so much cactus. Okay, let's be real. I wanted this to be the main attraction right here. This is worthless. This is essentially a bone meal generator. This, on the other hand, useful. That is very useful. Hold on, let's go up here. So if you take a look over here, you'll see this thing goes up, I think it's 4 layers all the way up, and each of those 4 layers where's the backlog? There's backlog somewhere. There we go. Just to give you an idea of how much cactus this thing produces, look at this. This is nuts. Now, I have been AFK for a bit, but that is a thing of beauty right there. I'll never, ever run out of cactus. And I could even sell this stuff, right? Look at that. Got more cactus just sitting here. I'll show you a little bit of how it works, but I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory at this point. So, if you look up, I don't know if you can really tell, but this is one layer right here, right? There's 4 of those modules, and each of those produces a fair amount, I would say, of cactus. So, what ends up happening is all of the cactuses grow, and then the fence posts break them, they fall into the water, and then they all fall into this little trench that ends up being about right here, which leads to these hoppers. These hoppers feed into this little system right here. So we've got us a dropper with a repeater, and that just sends a signal. Anytime there's something in the dropper, it activates this system, which will send a pulse into the dropper. So that way, no matter what, if there's anything in this dropper, it will be emptied no matter what. So that is the beauty of that system. And of course, it's just so tall. I mean, just outrageously tall. I love that I did all this to sell things, and there's probably no way to recoup the cost of things I bought in the shopping district just for this. I've probably spent like half my diamonds on this particular build, and you know what? I'm not even mad. It's a good looking build. Beautiful looking build. Very, very tall build at that too, but it is kind of nice because it seems to fit in with everything. I mean, as far as the aesthetics go, I just need to integrate it into a pathway of some kind, because right now it just kind of looks separated. So we'll get to that eventually, but for now I like the fact that I have a very highly effective cactus farm and a moderately effective flower farm. So and of course we have our cocoa farm, which is also quite lucrative as well. So altogether, I would call this a fairly lucrative run. I would say that this tower hopefully will serve its purpose and make me lots of moolah. But we'll see. We'll see how all of that goes. How effective is this cactus farm? It's so effective, in fact, that it overflow. I need to make bigger storage for my cactus farm, which is not a problem I thought I was going to need. But considering, look, this is all I just pulled out of the cactus farm. Holy cow. Anyway, with all of that, I think, oh heavens, I really think that I need to expand the storage. That way, you know, I get plenty of cacti, because that is the plural of cactus. I wouldn't say cactuses. That's not correct. But I get plenty of cacti if I build a bigger storage area. But I also need to, you know, turn all of this into something useful, which is where my smelter comes in handy. Real quick, though, I'm going to run this for just a second, because I think, yeah, we're grassed up here. And I just expanded this to include red, so I should be getting red dye out of this too. I didn't really need it because I can always go get poppies from Sorrow, but considering I don't really feel like taking his stuff on a regular. Alright, so we've got, it looks like we've got quite a bit producing here. I'm gonna estimate we've got, oh, let's see, I can always go down. I don't have to estimate. I don't have to do that. So let's see, we're getting plenty of these dandelions. Is this the one? Uh-oh. I don't see things going into the chest. That's not a good sign. Let's see. Oh, that might be part of the issue. Uh-oh. That is part of the issue. Big no. Glad I have something I can use to access that, though. Alright, that seems to be working. There we go. Okay. Should be collecting the things now. I should be getting... Yes, okay, the system is running. The system is running. We're producing bone meal. Doesn't matter. I could be mean. I could just do this. Here's what we're going to do. So this goes all the way across, right? So I'm just going to... We're going to stick these in there because I don't need them. I just don't need these anymore. These... You can do that too. Now we're really producing bone meal. Look at this. Look how quick this is going to start coming in. I could... Oh, dude. I just put this together. I just put this together. You can put cactus. You can put cactus in one of these composting systems. I don't need extra storage. I just need overflow that goes directly into... Oh, man. I didn't even think about this. I just need overflow that goes into this thing right over here. That's what I need. That's all I need right there. Because, like, this... Look at... It's already almost refilled. Look at this. That's nuts. That's insane. This thing is way too productive for what I need it for. All things considered. I'm going to flip this thing back on for just a second. So what I need to do with this is I need to reorganize this storage in a way that once this fills up, it just goes down to this system right over here. That way I'm just constantly producing bone meal in an AFK fashion that is not completely obliterating the server like some people I could mention. That would be Sorrow. Now, he does produce exorbitantly more bone meal than I do, but this is nifty. I like this idea. I like where this is going. Let me see what I can come up with and see if I can connect all of this down to the composting system. Okay, so this ended up being a bit more simple than I originally anticipated, actually. So I ended up just putting this little hopper here that goes into this hopper, but it will default to going down, right? So it's going to go to this hopper by default, but when this hopper's full, it'll back straight up and go down into this system, which is right over here, going into the composting system, which is very nifty. So that means that the next time I AFK at my cactus farm, I'm just going to be AFK producing quite a bit of bone meal, which is great because this thing's already almost full, right? This thing's already almost full, which is good for me. That's a good sign. Because then as soon as this fills up, then all I'm doing is producing bone meal. And a matter of fact, I probably could create a system in which I can just flip a switch and it will just automatically default to going down this direction and make bone meal. I think that'd be good. I can probably just just throw a switch back there. That's actually pretty easy. Might do that at some point, but for right now, I really like this. I like the way that this turned out. Do I have glass on me? I have no glass on me. I broke the piece of glass. Anyway, this though, I think this is good. I think we can work with this. Just for proof of concept, I'm gonna just take some of these, put it in here, and look, it goes in here, right there, just like that. I love seeing that. I think I put the rest of the cacti into the composting system, which is good because it produced more bone meal, which is great. So at this point, this is essentially just a less laggy bone meal farm than Sorrow's. That's what this comes around to. The only difference is that my bone meal farm also produces... Whoa! That was just one sitting. That's way more than I expected to see. And then you have some dandelions as well. I have red dye. Anybody need red dye? I have plenty of that stuff. Red dye. Got some yellow dye. You put them together, and what do you get? I don't even know. I think that's orange. I want to say that makes sense for orange dye. Are we correct in that? Yes, orange dye. I can make orange dye all day long now. Or I can make red dye, which I need for this red concrete. All of that's good stuff. We like that. We like that. This is where I've been keeping some of my dye stuff. So this is good. So we're making dyes, and we're making bone meal, which is also used as white dye, which is great for all sorts of things. So we're good. We're making things. This tower is producing things that may or may not be useful. We'll see. But I like it. I like where this is going. So I'm going to try. Well, actually, I'm not going to try. I'm going to show you guys what I've done AFK as well for the brief period of time I've been AFK. And by brief, I mean at least 12 hours. I've produced green dye. All the things that people like to be green, I've got plenty of green dye. So we're going to move a bunch of our dyes over to the shop and see if people want to buy them today. Alrighty, I have added the wall of color. As you can see, this beautiful piece of artistry holds all the different color dyes with the exception of light gray, because apparently I forgot light gray was a thing. I don't know why I forgot that, but it's, you know, it's okay because this looks nice and even too. So we have every color except for light gray on this wall. Everything is priced to sell, and hopefully that will motivate some folks to come over and buy some. The beautiful thing too about dye is that a little can go a long way. Like, for example, this right here can make 2 stacks of dyed concrete or glass or whatever it is that you're gonna dye. That's 2 stacks right there. So if you wanted to make, if you were to buy all of this, you'd be looking at 18 stacks of something that is dyed. So yeah, and unless somebody's going to be doing a massive project, these are all very reasonable prices, I think. And the beautiful thing is too, if you want green, boy, we got green for days. You want yellow? Yellow for days. You want red? We'll work on that one. That's okay. All that said, I think that this is a wonderful addition to our shop, and hopefully it'll get some foot traffic in here for people wanting to work on some projects and make them look all nice and neat with different colors. I think it looks great, and I think this will pull a lot of people in. But with all of that said, ladies and gentlemen, I just don't have any more time today. We are done. That is all that I have time to do today. And with it being the holidays, you know, I want to make sure that everybody is thankful for what they have, and boy, am I thankful to be a part of such a great group of people here on the Forager server. So grateful for all the wonderful people in my life, and I hope you'll be thankful too for what you have, and I'll be thankful if you join us for the next episode. Thanks, and goodbye.